Earlier from Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's my pleasure to be standing here with Sound of Origin, a few hours removed from your show. Guys, how was it for you?
It was great, thank you. It was great just to be on the stage again, and what better place than a download?
For the first show in 2 years, the best place to play obviously is Bloodstock, right?
Yeah.
What a way to absolutely bang out the year. Yeah.
Was it? How long's it actually been since you last played live?
2 years.
Yeah. Just a little bit over 2 years. Yeah.
How you guys been coping then, considering the last 18 months plus of the pandemic and the restrictions and everything getting moved constantly? How have you been coping?
Well, it's for any band in
Yeah.
that sort of situation, it can be very difficult. But I think everybody has had a really bad time, you know, obviously during the pandemic. And but for us personally, it hit us hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all got obviously individual lives, and it just hit us all really, really hard. We're a band that loves to play together. We're very much a field-based band, so not being in a room together was really tough.
Yeah, we're a band of brothers, and we kind of lived by a code after a while. You know, it was like every Friday is going to be our day. You know, a bit of a fraternity, but then obviously with that removed, it was really difficult to not have that human experience between each other.
How did you adapt?
It was more like just obviously with the age that we're in now.
Yeah.
We all went on Messenger, we all FaceTimed each other, and we just had a good old chat where we could, and just sort of reconnected where we could as well. And that's obviously in the bout of, you know, in between the bouts of depression and anxiety and everything that was going on. And we know that we're not the only ones that were suffering from those things. You know, it's been very tough for everyone.
I mean, of course, from the biggest to the smallest, there is no single band that's not been affected. But we also know that this has been an incredibly negative time, and it's nice to kind of focus on potentially some positives that have come out of it. What can you think of has been positive about the period for you?
Working on I guess individual parts as well, because we've come out with quite a lot of material over the last 2 years, and we've become a bit more experimental in what we're doing. We're changing up the sound a little bit more. We've all walked in with like different versions of songs and riffs and stuff, and we're all like, that's really cool, that's really interesting. So I guess on the positive side of things, it's kind of made it really, really good for us as a unit to actually go out there and go, okay, let's get in the practice studio, let's play this riff. Actually, I've got a new idea for this. Over the last 2 years, I've come up with this. And it's been a completely different experience from what we were doing 2 years prior. So yeah, no, I guess that's a really good positive for that.
Would it be something that you would take forward, the idea of, you conjure up an image of you all rolling back into a room, and each of you having thousands and thousands of riffs and beats and stuff like that, and then just be like, right, how do we filter this out into a song?
It could be difficult when you've got all the ideas all going into one pot, and trying to sift through it all, and taking the best out of what we've come away from the worst of how we've all been feeling, and yeah, we just try to come back with a positive outlook, and just say, here, look guys, I've got this riff, I've got this beat, let's see what we can do with it. As soon as we come in, we set up, the volume goes up, and we're in, and it's just no better feeling than that after being away for so long.
Completely different angle on everything we were doing 2 years prior, for sure.
Okay, cool. Bloodstock then, they come calling or emailing, however they contacted you. What was the thought process when that offer came?
So we did Metal to the Masses.
Yep.
And when that came to us, we were like, oh, right, okay, we've got to be on our best behaviour for a start.
Fair enough, yeah.
And we
People are
wanted
watching.
to really put ourselves out there and make the best version of ourselves, really, shine. And when we found out that we couldn't play the Metal to the Masses, which we were really gutted about, because we actually watched this to a few of the bands that were playing.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few, we had Master the Crown, we were just looking at it going, well, this is a shame, this is a shambles, what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Then we found out that it was all video based.
Yeah.
So, that raises the tension a little bit, and we were a bit like, oh, what we're going to do? But we were so happy that we got through, and we were so proud of ourselves, saying, well, we've done such a good job of being ourselves and getting through all of this for the last 2 years, and the first gig we're going to play is at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
What a way to come back.
Yeah.
What a way to come back.
It is absolutely as well, but it's only 30 minutes. That must have flown by. Did you even get a moment? Did you have a moment on stage where you were able to take it in?
Briefly before I struck the first sort of open note, just to see how things were sort of going. At that point, then that's when it became a little bit more real.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we sort of looked at each other and was like, right, we're here.
Yeah.
And we're here to do a show, so let's do what we do. You know, let's just try and have some fun with it. Try and be a bit loosey-goosey and just try and not let the adrenaline take over. You know, we've got to remember we're a Stoner Doom band. We've got to keep things slow. So obviously when the adrenaline kicks in, you know, it ends up turning a bit of a thrash set otherwise. So yeah, we've got to have to try and rein it in a little bit. But it was very exciting. It was great to see that crowd, to have the you know, the chanting, you know, and see all those beautiful faces, loving it, you know, and just enjoying themselves.
And it must be incredibly encouraging, as you know, this festival, how this works. You can go to the New Blood, and you can go to the Jaeger, but then you go to the Sophie. If you continue to have the upward trajectory, you continue to go up and up and up. And we've seen bands play almost every stage and then end up in the main. How encouraging is that for you?
Well, massively, really. Because I mean, like we came here, you know, obviously first gig in 2 years. So when we popped in, we watched a few bands, watched Onslaught as well, and we were like, this is exactly what we've needed for the last 2 years, without being, you know, without being too over the top. We were losing our minds. On the first day on Wednesday, we were like, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. And yeah, a great opportunity, massive opportunity. And,
for me personally, was actually walking down the VIP side here, and I heard the roar of the crowd.
Oh yeah.
My legs just kind of went at that point. Just to hear that crowd after so long of, it was just something so cathartic about it. It was just unreal.
It was when we watched King Corpse as well at the Jaeger stage, and we stood there and we had a bit of a thing with the Jaeger stage at that time, so everyone was waiting for half an hour. But it built the anticipation. So when we all turned up for it, it was huge and it was a big party. You know, it was like, oh great. And we know the guys from King Crimson as well. Mm-hmm. King Crimson. I wish we knew the guys from King Crimson.
That would be quite something.
That'd be amazing. But when we turned up and everything, it was a big vibe. We were all so happy. It was like, this is it. Everything is back to normal, back to where we want it to be. Gigging, friends, and having a good time.
You're right, it is escapism
Yes.
for this weekend, and it's just that hope, I guess, when you leave here, not just as music fans, but yourselves, the momentum that comes from this. What are you hoping or planning to be able to do from this?
Hopefully play Bloodstock again.
Of course.
That would be an amazing opportunity. And hopefully play some other festivals across the world. I guess that's everyone, you know, who's in a band, you know, that's their dream. But we're hoping that we're going to get to that point where we're going to just be able to play to everyone.
Eventually,
everyone who enjoys it, enjoys the fuzz, enjoys being soaked in it. And yeah, I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to soar from here.
Well, we've talked to bands here over many years, and some, you know, we hear this, you get encouraged, and you're all excited, and we never hear from them again. Basically, well, that's the truth of it. Whereas some we've watched grow and grow and grow. Simply put, which one are you?
Hopefully a grower.
Yeah, no, I feel like we are. I mean, the second album that's coming out, that we've been working on for the last 3 years now, is a bit different to the last one. So we're hoping it appeals to a wider audience.
Okay.
Which allows for, you know, people who like thrash, people who like experimental, and anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Just to come and see us.
Okay, so you've been proper, those 18 months then, last 2 years, experimenting as hell by the sound of it.
Yep.
Absolutely, mate. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, really, hasn't it?
Yes.
For where the material is sort of going from the all-seeing eye to where it's going now. It's different, but in a good way. It's we're spreading our wings.
It's exciting sounding.
It's exciting stuff. I mean, we're going to drop 2 releases. One that's at either end of the heavy metal pantheon. So
really? Okay.
One that's going to be more low and slow. One that's going to have more experimental things in there. Get a little bit more metal in there. A little bit more. I mean, you'll see.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Let's just wait and see, and sounds like it's going to be great, but we will wait and see, and then we'll do the judge. Guys, you around for the rest of the weekend?
Oh, indeed.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We are.
Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, apart from Devin Townsend.
Well, there you go. I mean,
there's obviously Priest, but there's Conan on today as well. We recorded with Chris from Conan for the OCNI, top lad. We're really looking forward to actually seeing them play the last album. You know, hopefully Eye to Eye would be.
Oh, okay, yeah. Only got an hour.
Oh, that's it. You know, we need that fuzz.
Been craving that fuzz for so long.
Been craving it.
I mean, it was a bit of a shame to obviously Conan had to cancel their UK tour,
Yeah.
so we got a show on that, so it was a bit it was a bit of a.
It's par for the course now, you know. You're kind of like, oh, what next?
Well, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted a couple of warm-up shows before we came and did Bloodstock, but obviously those shows were cancelled. So to come back and actually do this, it was a huge thing for us. So it was very, very exciting, very nervous energy, but all in all, absolutely good.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?